A lot of people think a prenuptial agreement means planning for divorce, but that is not really the best way to look at it. A prenup is really a planning tool that can reduce confusion, protect assets, and prevent major disputes later. So what exactly is a prenuptial agreement? A prenuptial agreement, also called a prenup, is a written legal contract signed before marriage. It usually explains how assets, debts, and financial responsibilities will be handled if the marriage ends in divorce or if one spouse dies. A prenup can be very helpful when one or both people are coming into the marriage with significant assets, a business, real estate, investments, family wealth, or even substantial debt. For example, if one spouse already owns rental properties, stock accounts, or a business before marriage, a prenup can clearly say those assets remain separate property. That can prevent a lot of fighting later about whether those assets became shared assets during the marriage. A prenup can also help define how future shared assets will be handled. For example, if the couple buys a home together, the agreement can explain whether it will be split equally, based on contribution or under some other formula. It can also deal with responsibility for debts, which can be very important if one spouse has business liabilities, personal loans, or other financial obligations. In short, a good prenup creates clarity. It can reduce legal costs, shorten disputes, and make the divorce process less emotional and less expensive. But a prenup does not solve everything. If the agreement is poorly written, vague, unfair, or signed under pressure, a court may not enforce it later. If one person hides assets, does not fully disclose finances, or forces the other person to sign right before the wedding, that can create major problems. Also, a prenup may not help much if it does not clearly address the asset being disputed. For example, if the agreement says premarital assets stay separate, but then both spouses mix money together, improve a property together, or add the other spouse to title, the dispute can become more complicated. Another important point is that a prenup usually cannot override rules about child support, and some provisions may be rejected if they violate state law or public policy. So the real value of a prenup is not fear, it is clarity. A prenup helps most when it is fair, complete, properly drafted, and signed with full disclosure and enough time for both sides to review it. If done correctly, it can protect separate assets, reduce disputes over shared property, and give both people a clearer financial understanding before marriage. A prenup is not about expecting failure. It is about setting clear rules before emotions and conflict make everything harder later. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications to not miss out on my next videos.